Now in this lesson, we want to be able to connect our different pages up to the buttons that we select. If we go to our main home page, you can zoom in to it. There we go here. We've got a Buy Now button. And with this one, notice that we've got the words and we also have the little box that goes around it. Now, if we go into prototype mode, you can select either the words or the box. And if you hover over it, you can see those also have the little dots inside of them. Whenever you make a button, however, it's best to put it inside of the box. Therefore, it gives you a larger area to click on. So rather than just doing it to the picture or the text itself, make sure to group everything together or select the actual box itself to make the button. With it selected, I'm going to zoom out just a bit. Remember, you can click on any one of these little plus signs. And the Buy Now, we're going to skip over the features and go directly to Checkout. And so now once we tap on it, boom, it goes all the way over there. Another thing we can do that we can play around with are some of the different kinds of animations that can be done. In this case, rather than having it instantly go over to this page, we can have it do different kinds of ways of transitioning. Things like dissolving, we'll do a smart animate in just a second, moving and pushing in and out. If I was to say do push, you can see this gives you a little preview down here at the bottom. So when you scroll over it, you can see how it pushes one thing out of the way. You can give it a different direction as well, going from the top or the bottom. And you can also give it some different timing. The durations are always done in milliseconds. So 1,000 milliseconds is 1 second. So right now, this is roughly a third of a second. If I want it to last 1 second, I can make it 1,000 milliseconds. We'll keep that and click away from it. Let's do the same for Learn More. If I click on the outside of it, I can drag Learn More over to here. And we'll do the same thing. This time when it pushes, you can do move out. You can see this time it just kind of rolls on top of it. I know it's kind of in the way. Let me see if I can scroll down so I can see it. By the way, at any time, if you want to open up those options again, you can select the line itself, and this will pull up the options to be able to transition those. So easing out, eases over it. You can see how it takes 1 minute. Let's go, or excuse me, 1 second. Let's go a little bit slower. All of this kind of plays into being able to feel how things tend to operate as well. All right, so let's test it out. I've got both of these linked up. I can go up to prototype mode, or I'm going to do preview mode and open this up in its own little separate window. With it open, maybe I'll drag it over here so I can see it side by side. Now I can click anywhere on here. It doesn't do anything. But if I hover over, here's Buy Now. You can see how it slowly transitions into here. I don't necessarily have a back button, but that's okay. Remember, you can always reset it by going up to the little reset button. It takes us back here. Learn More. This one slides over much, much faster. So this is the ability to add some different little button transitions and some animations between all of your different features from one area to the other. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. Next, let's deal with doing some smart animations. Smart animation transitions allow you to transition objects that are on one page as one state, or the way they look in one way, to another state and make a change to it, and it'll animate between that change. Here's what I mean with it. Let's go to page 1. So I want to be able to click on this image and have it appear bigger or close up, as if it's zooming in for me. In order to do this, we're going to use this little plus sign. Going back to our design, I'm going to use my selection tool and select both the circle and the plus, and let's group those together. So go up to Object, and let's make a group out of it. Group selection. That way it's one solid thing. And I'm simply going to drag it and place it. It's behind there. That's okay. We'll go up to Object, and we'll change the arrangement of it to bring it to the front. There we go. Now I can see it on top of here. By the way, if you can't see the circle like mine is, maybe we want to double click on it. I'm going to select the circle and I'm going to give it an outline. I should have done this earlier, but I'm just going to add a simple little 1-point black stroke. Maybe make it 2 points. There we go. Now I can actually see the little dot inside of that. The main thing is I've got a circle that I can now know that I can click on. So I want to be able to click on this and have my image be larger. In order to do this, I want to make a copy of my home page. Let's go over to Prototype. And I'm going to click on the name homepage and just drag it over here to the side. And I'm going to make a duplication of this home page. So with it selected, go up to Edit and choose Duplicate. Notice that it puts a copy of it right beside it. That's why we moved it over. And it even duplicated all of the little connections that we made from our buttons on the first page to the second. Now, in order to distinguish both of these, let's double click on the second one and simply make it homepage number 2. So you can see even over here in our layers panel, we've got homepage 1 and homepage 2. Now, the only difference that I want to do is I want this large image at the top to become much bigger. So I'm going to choose my design layout. I've got my selection tool. I'm going to click and drag and select everything up here. And I'm going to hold down the Option key and the Shift key as you click and drag, and that will make it much larger. I'll even have it go off the page. I can see when I did this, my little plus sign kind of went away. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to do it one more time. This time, I'm only going to select my rectangle and make it larger. That looks good. And then maybe I'll move my little plus sign down and out of the way. So that one didn't get bigger, but my image definitely fills up the screen a lot more. All right, so what I want to do is I want to transition between here and here whenever I click this button. So going over to Prototype, I'm going to zoom in so I can see this button. And I'll click on the edge of it and drag it to over here. And the style of animation, remember you can click on the line itself. From here to here, the animation is going to be Smart Animate, and it's automatically going to do this. I will make it go a little bit faster too, so let's maybe bump this down to 200 milliseconds. Now let's give it a test. First off, make sure you've got homepage 1 selected, and we'll go into our preview. Now when I click on it, boom, it automatically zooms back up. Let's reset it. Boom. So that's in essence what a smart animation does. It animates from one thing to the other. Of course, now I need to animate it going back. Hey, let's change this. So in this case, if I've got it selected, I'm going to have it animate going back to this page. And we'll also do a smart animate for it. So now when I go to Prototype and test it, I can click on, zooms in, and then it zooms back out. Simple and neat. So this comes in handy sometimes for doing different kinds of little transitions that we want. Simply being able to create those. Buy now, transitions over here, or more info, transitions to another page. Another thing you can do is to simulate typing in text. Now, in order to do this, let's say we wanted to do this on the checkout page. Once again, I'm going to move this and make a duplication of it. You can put it beside or you can put it below if you want. It really doesn't matter. But I've got my checkout page selected. Let's make a duplication of it by going to Edit and Duplicate. You can see how it put it at the end. Just to keep things in order, I'm going to drag it down here. This way I know the two differences. And I'll call this one Checkout number 2. All right, so when it goes to the checkout, it'll display this page. And I want it to look like when I click on somewhere inside of here that I've typed in my email, credit card, and information about this. So I'm going to go down here. I'm just going to type in a dummy email. Do make sure you're working in design mode. We've got our type tool selected. So I'm going to do benivy@mc.edu. My card information is 123-456-789 0. We'll do a month of 0133 and CVV of 105, something like that. So all that is just some dummy text that works for this one. Now, what I can do to link this up is to go into prototype mode, and I'll choose this page. First of all, let's use our selection tool. Click on checkout. So when it goes to buy more, it will automatically go to checkout. And then from checkout, I can click on the edge of it. Let's go from here and drag down. And if we choose Smart Animate for this, let's test and see what this looks like. I've got checkout up here selected, so whenever I go to preview it, it automatically jumps to here. Click on it, and you can see how it automatically fades in. Let's restart that, and I'll do it again. Click, and fade is what comes up for that. So it's a great way of just kind of simulating somebody typing in without actually having to type in anything inside of this text box. There are ways of typing in stuff, but we're not going to get into that for what we're doing. Finally, I can do purchase, and it goes into here to do this kind of animation for this one. So maybe I'd make a button for this one and drag it over here. And once again, I wouldn't use Smart Animate because there's nothing the same from one to the other. As long as you've got the same stuff, it's on there. So maybe for this one, I would do something like dissolve and have it kind of appear and dissolve into that. Now, a final thing you can do is to have things be able to animate starting off the page and going onto the page. We'll do this for the confirmation page. So again, I'm going to make a duplication of confirmation. So with it selected, go up to Edit, down to Duplicate. I'll move this over just a bit and give it a new name. So double click on confirmation and call it confirmation number 2. So I want this little checkbox to kind of fly on and appear on inside of here. So this will be the last state. This will be the where it looks once it's finished. We want it to start kind of off the screen. So I'm going to select it and move it off the edge. Now notice that when I do this, it stays on the edge here, and that's okay. But as soon as I pull it off, that little circle check kind of comes outside of my little confirmation group. Now, if I was to, let's do our transition for this one. So I'm going to go from purchase to here. And then from here, I want it to transition over here. So I'm going to select my confirmation and drag it to here. When I do this, check out what happens. So I'm going to start off with my purchase page. Let's go to checkout, excuse me. I hit purchase. And then if I click again, well, it appeared on there, but I want it to animate into here. So let's see if we can fix it. First off, let's go to confirmation. Remember, you can click on the line, and let's change our animation type from dissolve to smart animate. So it's going to smart animate into here. That'll move it from there to there. But I got another problem. Let's try it one more time. Again, make sure checkout is selected, prototype it, click purchase, then click again. And wait a minute, it didn't move in. It just still kind of dissolved in. The reason for this is when we drug this little checkbox outside of our frame, if we go over here to our groups, you can see, let's go to the confirmation one, you can see our little circle check is outside of the confirmation layer. So we need this to be back inside of the area. Even though it's not there, we can click, we can drag it in, and now it'll be part of it as well. We still want to be able to see that though. So you can toggle the layers visibility, or if we've got it selected here, we can tell it to show on it. So let's go to design, and where it says clip content, uncheck that. And so it'll actually show, oops, excuse me, let's go to our confirmation page. Choose clip content, and it'll actually show that from there. Okay, now that this circle is back inside of that confirmation layer, one more time, let's prototype it. Go to checkout, click on prototype. When we click again, aha, there it is. It actually animates in. Let's do it again. purchase, and then it animates in. Now, one last thing, let me reset this. I want it to do, when I click purchase, I don't want to have to click in order to see that animation. I just want it to automatically animate for me. So going back to our animation for here, let's choose our first confirmation page and then click on the little line between it. Instead of it triggering on a tap, let's have it animate after a certain amount of time or after a delay. We're going to set this down to something really small. So like 300 milliseconds is plenty fine. So after a delay, it's going to smart animate by itself after that. So let's give it a try. Again, choose checkout. We'll go up to prototype and hit it, purchase it, and automatically it comes up. I didn't have to click anything. Try it one more time. Purchase, and then boom, automatically comes up. You can adjust the timing as you see fit for this one as well. So in doing animations, you can do smart transitions. You can do some of the predefined transitions that shows how it pushes and pulls between different pages. When you do smart animations, do make sure you've duplicated the board. The reason you also want to duplicate it is because you want to have things be exactly the same on here. If you've got a rectangle 1, you also want it to be called rectangle 1 on this page. Or if you have something called a checkbox, have a checkbox over here. And sometimes if you want it to look the same but change the information, you simply need to make a duplicate of that artboard and then type in some dummy text for it. All right, I want to zoom back out for here. This will be the last for this week's lessons. What I want you to do to save and turn in these files is to save this as a local Figma design file. So once you've got everything linked up and just practiced around creating your different animations, go up to File and let's do Save a Local Copy. This will allow you to choose where you want to save this to. So in our case, I'm going to put this on my desktop. Just make sure you know where it's at. I'm going to call this my wireframe prototype. This way I know what it is, and we'll hit save from here. This will give you a wireframe prototype on your desktop. So here is the Figma file.fig. This Figma file is what you're going to turn into the Canvas page for this exercise activity. Now that we've covered some of the basics in the project portion for this week, we're going to clean up everything and make sure everything flows really nicely.